Taking news.
Despite what they said on Fox, Wednesday, November the 8th was a big victory for us. We took the House away from Pelosi and her squad of witches. We retained the governor's house in Texas, Florida, and Georgia, and had victories across the country. Long Island, of all places, voted all Republican. Long Island will be represented by 4 House Republicans for the first time since 1981. So there was a red wave on Tuesday. I'm sorry it wasn't everything you thought it should be. The wave may not have crested, but it did swell, and it made significant gains. Unfortunately, most of what I'm hearing is grumbling and misdirected anger at Trump, who campaigned hard on his own dime for an election where he wasn't even running. And what did he get for his troubles? His home raided by the FBI and an ungrateful nation who's now ready to trade him in for the new hot because Fox told them so. It's time for some of you to grow up. Grow up and realize we are in the fight of our lives. The problems we face will not be solved in a single election, especially when you consider the Democrats successfully cheated in 2020. And although there's a massive amount of evidence to that fact, no law enforcement investigations have happened, and no one has been held to account. So why are some of you surprised they cheated in this election? Why wouldn't they? It's worked pretty well for them in the past. The good news is that this time they've been caught in real time. Many people were monitoring this election across the country, not just in Arizona, but in Michigan and Pennsylvania as well. I've been seeing this for a long time now, and it's high time people accept it. We are at war. And we battle an ancient foe that has been planning this war for decades. Victory is possible, but it may take years. Some of us, self-included, may not live to see it, but that's okay. Moses was told by God he himself would not get to the promised land. And what if upon hearing this, he quit? Like civil rights leaders have a saying, there is no justice, there's just us. They were half right. We may only have each other, but we also have God. And if God is for us, who shall be against us? So I say to you today, do not despair. We're just at the beginning, and I can promise you many more hardships will follow. One thing is certain, in this life, none of us are going to make it out alive. So the question is, will you die on your feet or on your knees? Will you die fighting or cowering and complaining? It may sound cliche, but I look at our entire scenario as a football game. Big plays are wonderful, but it's consistency that wins games. Everyone wants to be on the football team with the quarterback who has an arm like a cannon, who can throw with the speed, distance, and precision of a guided missile. Everyone wants to play on the team with the kicker who can send the ball dead center of the uprights from 50 yards away every time. Everyone wants to play on the team with the rock star receiver who can catch any throw, defy any defense, and run like the wind. But the truth is, that's not how most football games are won. Most games are won 5 yards at a time, moving the ball from the line of scrimmage through your opponent's defense, helmet to helmet, pad to pad, 5 yards every down until you get to the end zone. That's the guaranteed way of winning a ball game. Don't begrudge a 5-yard game because it wasn't a Hail Mary touchdown. Take that 5 yards, get back on the line, get another 5 yards, and keep doing that until you score. And after that, you get the ball back and you do it again. And you keep doing that, play after play, down after down, right through the end of the fourth quarter. Republicans made significant gains. We took the House back. We retained crucial states and won many others, despite widespread cheating, which, again, we were able to document in real time. We did this despite a mainstream media and Hollywood being totally against us. We had victories despite the so-called conservative media, Fox, spreading misinformation, division, and despair. Just because the wave didn't crest doesn't mean there wasn't a wave. What the wave did do was swell. We took the House. Soon we will have the Senate. We retained many governorships and stand poised to take more as the votes continue to be counted. I, for one, am grateful for the wins, and now I look forward to congressional hearings on widespread cheating on the 2020 election and impeachment hearings for Biden and Garland, as well as a real January 6th committee, the release of the January 6th prisoners, and of course, a real congressional investigation of Fauci and the closing of our borders. So to those of you who despair, I say buck up. Be grateful for our hard-won victories. And if you're still plagued by disappointment, start asking yourself the question, what could I have done differently? Did I help campaign? Did I volunteer? Did I attend rallies? Did I donate? Did I post about the election on social media? Because if you had so much at stake that you feel so terrible now, then you must consider what you can do in the future to ensure the next election meets your expectations. Starting today, we must push the new Congress to start their investigations into election integrity and vaccines, to name just a few. Today, you can help by writing, emailing, and calling them. You must hold them to account. But it's time to ask yourself, what can I do to move the ball? Do you know who's on your city council? Do you know who's on your local school board? Do you know who your county leaders are, or even your county sheriff? If your answer is no, it's time to find out, because all the big things like the vax mandates and the sex changes for kids are executed at the local level. I encourage you, at the very least, sit in on a city council meeting. Most cities and counties now have their meetings streamed on their YouTube channel. Look it up. And if you find out they are corrupt, or woke, or both, time to think about finding a new candidate to replace them, or consider running yourself. Today, we need everyone in the fight, and that means you. The days of riding the pine and letting others do the heavy lifting are over. Now it's all hands on deck, and everyone must be about the business of restoring our nation. That means not just defeating Democrats and RINO Republicans, but ultimately taking back power from the clutches of outside influences, such as George Soros, the World Economic Forum, and the Chinese Communist Party. These are the true enemies of our freedom. In the end, it's up to you. It's up to all of us. So I'm asking you, are you ready to go to work?
What they won't tell you, we will. Come and take it news.